Happy Valentine's Day! It's February 14th, 2016, and I'm Kimmy, but my favorite little guy in the world calls me MomMom, so you can too. After steeping in the news over the past couple of weeks, I've got a definite feeling of a revolution coming on. I've written another wake up story, and I'd like to read it to you now. I would say settle in and get comfy, but I'm afraid that's a big part of the problem. My story is called Revolution Stew by me, Mama. Can you smell it? I really wish I could tell you it smells delicious, but it seems this meal has been ruined. I was going to serve you up some fresh organic stew sourced from my family farm, and it started out normal enough. I gathered pure patriotism by the bushel and squeezed some fresh excellence from the constitutional republic. I topped it off with equal amounts of kindness and generosity, all organic, of course, and then I whisked it into a mixture of Christian values and good business sense, and voila, the greatest dish ever made. Well, that was until our kitchen was illegally invaded. I'd set my mixture on the back burner to simmer and allow time for the flavors to develop. I'd only turned my back for a moment, but when I turned back around, the whole thing was about to boil over. A team of mainstream media line cooks seemed to have invaded America's kitchen, and you know what they say about too many cooks. Without our permission, they started chucking foulness into our pot, beginning with 2 pounds of divisiveness, glazed with racism and sprinkled with socialism. The American family divided and fostered by Child Protective Services, tossed in a mixture of corrupt for-profit judicial and penal systems. Add that mixture into the sieve that is the American public education, and I say that loosely because I call it indoctrination system, making sure to separate and discard any and all parental or familial rights from the mixture. They even used all genetically modified ingredients and brought in water from Flint, Michigan. Ew. I tried to salvage the mess by adding a heaping helping of the Constitution, but it had been shredded before I could get to it. I added what was left, but then jumped in my truck and headed over to my organic family farm to get some more goodness to add into the pot, only to find it posted, "No trespassing by order of the Federal Bureau of Land Management." Well, at least we still have free market capitalism, right? I'll just stop by the store on my way home. So I do, but what do I find? The shelves are practically bare, and that which is left is so unbelievably expensive. But I know that I must relent and at least purchase some freedom and fairness if there's any hope of salvaging the dish. I get to the checkout. The cashier, who's being paid $15 an hour, rings up my 3 items and says, "That'll be $97.84, ma'am." I reached in my concealed carry purse and pulled out a crisp Ben Franklin. The clerk looked at me like I was a criminal and sneered, "We don't accept cash here," and picked up the phone to call security. Needless to say, I was outie. So, I rush home to see if perhaps all isn't lost. Maybe with a lot of prayer I can save it. Apparently, though, while I was gone, those hacks were at it again. I lifted the lid on my pot and I looked inside to see a blood-covered snowbank in Oregon, floating in the tears of Christians and patriots. The mainstream maniacs turn to us and smile as they serve us a steaming, hot bowl of revolution stew. A side of corn bread, charred and slathered in fear, with a big glass of God's judgment to swallow it down. I don't know about you, but this is one time I don't mind being called late for dinner. As a matter of fact, I'm on a strict diet of truth, that taste that everyone wants, but find it so hard to swallow. The end.